3,000 years had passed since Earth was destroyed. The blue planet that once shone with life and laughter was now only a memory in old records. No human alive had seen it, and most species believed humans were extinct. The galaxy whispered of Earth's destruction as a story, a warning. It was said the humans were weak and scattered, easy to erase. No one expected them to return. Commander Luke Carter of the Zelari Empire looked at the star charts on his console. His fleet floated in quiet space beyond the main trade routes in a sector that had once been part of human territory. He did not believe he would see humans. No one alive did. The mission was simple. Survey the area, confirm that no signs of life remained, and report back to the Imperial Council. "Nothing here," said Lieutenant Reed, scanning the sensors. "No planets with breathable atmosphere, no signs of structures, no energy readings." "Still," Luke said quietly, "double-check everything. This is old human space. The records are incomplete." The crew moved efficiently, following the routine. Their ships glided silently among the stars, metal and light cutting through the dark. The Zelari officers were confident. Humans had not survived the war. Their records were clear. They had destroyed Earth 3,000 years ago, burning it until it was nothing but glass and dust. Far away in a hidden star system around a small red dwarf, humans were alive. They called the system Haven. It was not on any imperial charts. It had been erased, hidden by the humans themselves. Here, civilization had grown in secret. The cities floated among the clouds of gas giant rings, or on planets where humans had built great domes to live under safe skies. Machines hummed, ships glided silently, and children laughed in places no alien had ever seen. Ethan Cole walked along the bridge of the main command vessel. His hair was streaked with gray, but his eyes were sharp. He looked at the stars and thought of Earth. It was gone, burned to dust by the Zelari Empire, but the memory of it lived on in every human. The Council had waited 3,000 years for this moment. The humans of Haven had prepared, trained, and built fleets that rivaled the Zelari in power. "They're coming," said Maria Stone, standing beside Ethan. Her voice was calm, but her eyes burned with determination. She was one of the leaders who had preserved the history of Earth. She had told the young humans the stories of their lost world, of cities that touched the clouds, of oceans that sparkled under the sun. She had also told them of the betrayal of the fire that had destroyed everything. Ethan nodded. "Yes, they think we are gone, they think we are weak, they will learn the truth soon enough." Back on the Zelari ships, Luke Carter's sensors began to register something unusual. A faint signal far beyond normal ranges flickered on the console. "What is that?" he asked, frowning. "Not sure, sir. It's faint, but it's moving," replied Reed. The officers watched as the readings grew stronger, faster, more organized. "Could it be a hidden human colony?" asked another officer. The question hung in the air, almost too foolish to speak aloud. Luke felt a chill. No human had survived. If there were survivors, they would not be organized. They would not have the strength to hide and build fleets for 3,000 years. It was impossible, yet the sensors did not lie. Something was out there, and it was alive. In Haven, the humans prepared silently. Jack Harris, the captain of the Vanguard fleet, gave the final orders. Ships moved out of hidden docks, engines glowing softly. These were the best ships, built for both speed and power. They were ancient in design, but improved with centuries of hidden technology. "Remember," Jack said, "we strike only when we are ready. We are not here to destroy blindly. We are here to show the galaxy that humans survived and that we remember what was done to us." On a distant observation post, Claire Bennett adjusted the communications array. "They're coming," she said, her voice steady. "The Zelari fleet is moving closer. We will see them soon." The Zelari ships approached a system that had once been charted as dead. Luke Carter ordered the fleet to spread out and scan every planet. Sensors were strong, but they detected only dust, ice, and old asteroid belts. Nothing moved, nothing breathed. The Empire had won, or so they believed. Then the human fleet appeared. At first, it was just a faint shadow against the stars. The Zelari officers stared, trying to understand what they saw. The shapes were strange, unlike any ships they had seen before. They were dark, almost invisible, but powerful. They moved in formation, silent and deadly, as if they had always belonged to the darkness of space. "Report," Luke barked, but the officers were frozen. "Sir, these ships, they are human," Reed said, disbelief in his voice. "Human," Luke repeated, his heart pounded. Impossible. Humans were destroyed. The records, the war, we burned their home. They survived, sir, another officer whispered. And they are ready. Ethan Cole watched the Zelari fleet from his command seat. He did not smile. He did not shout. The humans had waited too long for this moment. 3,000 years of planning, training, and preparation led to this day. The moment to reveal themselves had come. Jack Harris gave the signal. Human ships powered up silently, energy fields glowing softly. The Zelari sensors went haywire. No one could measure the true power of these vessels. The humans had learned to hide, to survive, and now to strike not with fury, but with precision. Luke Carter's fingers trembled over the controls. He called for reinforcements, but the human ships moved faster than anyone expected. They did not attack immediately. Instead, they surrounded the Zelari fleet, cutting off escape routes. Communications were blocked, sensors jammed. The humans wanted the Empire to see them, to know they were alive, to understand that they had waited and remembered every betrayal. On the human bridge, Maria Stone spoke quietly to Ethan Cole. They don't know what we have. They think we are extinct. They have no idea. Ethan nodded. And they will learn. Soon the galaxy will remember Earth not as a memory, but as a warning. The Zelari officers grew desperate. Luke tried to break formation, but the human fleet was everywhere, moving like shadows. The humans were not reckless. They had waited, studied, and perfected every move. They did not panic, and neither would they allow the Zelari to. Prepare for first contact, Jack Harris said calmly. This is only the beginning. The Empire will learn respect, or they will remember the cost of underestimating humans. The red dwarf star of Haven glowed faintly, bathing the human fleet in light. Centuries of survival, planning, and hope flowed through every officer and sailor on the ships. They were the ghosts of Earth, alive and stronger than anyone could imagine. The time of hiding was over. The time of reckoning had begun. The Zelari fleet was trapped, unsure, fearful. They had destroyed a planet. They had thought humans were gone. Now their arrogance was their weakness. The humans did not attack immediately. They wanted the Empire to understand that revenge was not just destruction. It was memory, patience, and power combined. Luke Carter finally called out orders, his voice shaking. Fire all weapons. Destroy them, but the human fleet moved faster. They disabled the Zelari targeting systems without harming a single ship. The Zelari stared in horror as their weapons failed, their shields faltered, and the humans remained untouched. They realized too late that these humans were not the weak race they had imagined. They were something else entirely. Ethan Cole looked at the bridge and spoke to Jack and Maria. This is only the start. 3,000 years of waiting, and finally the galaxy will see what humans are capable of. The human ships shimmered softly under the red dwarf's light, their engines silent yet deadly. The Empire would learn in time that humans had survived. And when they learned, it would be too late. The stars of old human space watched silently as ghosts became warriors, shadows became reality, and the legend of Earth came alive again. The Zelari fleet drifted in confusion, trapped by the silent human ships. Luke Carter's hands moved over the console so fast that the keys clicked like frantic drums. Sensors, weapons, and communications all failed. The humans had disabled everything without firing a shot. He felt panic creep into his chest. He had fought many wars, but nothing like this. Nothing had ever prepared him for humans. Sir, we cannot penetrate their shields, Lieutenant Reed said, voice trembling. All energy readings are blocked, targeting systems offline. They are too fast, too smart, another officer said. How is this possible? Luke clenched his fists. He had led fleets into battle against dozens of alien species, but never had he felt so powerless. He called the fleet to formation, ordering evasive maneuvers, but the humans anticipated every move. They did not rush or shout. They moved as if they were born in the stars, calm, precise, and unstoppable. Ethan Cole stood on the bridge of the human command vessel, looking at the Zelari ships trapped in the stars. Centuries of planning had led to this moment. Every fleet movement, every weapon, every strategy had been studied, adapted, and improved. The humans had waited for this for 3,000 years. Jack Harris, captain of the Vanguard, gave orders to his officers. Maintain formation. Do not fire until I give the signal. We are not here to destroy yet. They must understand who we are before we strike. Understood, sir, the officers replied. Their voices carried calm authority, the result of long years of discipline and preparation. These humans had been trained for generations to survive, to endure, and to return stronger than ever. The Zelari ships tried to respond. They activated secondary weapons, energy beams, and missile systems. Alarms blared across the fleet. Luke Carter felt sweat on his brow. None of the weapons worked. The humans' shields absorbed every attack without harm. It was impossible. They are alive. They are not extinct, Luke muttered, more to himself than anyone else. And they are stronger than we imagined. On the human ships, Claire Bennett monitored the Zelari systems. She had been studying the Empire for years, learning their tactics and weaknesses. Her hands moved swiftly over the controls. "They are panicking," she said. "Their fleet cannot coordinate. We control every move." "Good," Ethan said quietly. "Fear is the first step. They must see that humans survived, that we remember. Then they will listen." Jack Harris contacted the Zelari fleet. A voice came through the channel, hesitant, shaking. It was Luke Carter. "Humans, we believed you were gone. We destroyed Earth. Why are you alive?" Jack responded calmly. "We are alive because we survived, because we learned. Because we remembered. You destroyed our home, yet you thought it would end us. It did not. We are here to ensure the galaxy knows the truth." The Zelari fleet froze. Communications with the Empire were normally used to threaten, negotiate, or strike. But these humans spoke with calm power, without anger, without desperation. It unnerved the officers. They had expected to hear screams, chaos, or fear. Instead, they heard certainty. Ethan Cole addressed the fleet over open channels. Images and recordings of old Earth were broadcast. Cities burning, oceans boiling, skies darkened by fire. Billions of humans lost in a single moment. The galaxy watched as the truth unfolded, every species able to see the crimes of the Zelari Empire. "We were not weak," Ethan said. "We were survivors. You thought we were gone, but we endured. We grew stronger. The galaxy will remember what you did." Back on the Zelari ships, panic turned into fear. Luke Carter watched as his officers struggled to maintain composure. Fleets that had never failed were now trapped, unable to fire or move. Communications systems across the Empire were now filled with recordings of Earth's destruction. The past came alive to shame them. We must retreat," one officer said, voice trembling. "We cannot fight them. They are too strong." Luke hesitated. He had been trained to fight, not surrender, but the humans were not attacking yet. They did not need to. Their control over the situation was complete. Every movement, every decision, every option the Zelari had was anticipated. They realized slowly that they were powerless against humans. On Haven, Maria Stone watched the monitors of the Zelari fleet. She spoke quietly to Ethan. "They are afraid, but they are stubborn. They will not admit defeat easily." "Let them," Ethan replied. "We do not need to strike with weapons. Our survival, our fleets, and our history are enough to show the Empire our strength." Jack Harris turned to his officers. "Prepare the secondary protocols. We are not attacking yet, but if they resist, we will not hesitate. We show mercy now, but the next step will be swift." The humans moved among the stars with silent power. Their ships glided as if they belonged to space itself. Their technology, built from centuries of secret research, could not be matched by the Zelari Empire. The humans had learned to hide, to survive, and now to return with unmatched precision. Luke Carter finally sent a message to the Empire. "We are under attack. Humans are alive and stronger than ever. We need immediate reinforcement." His voice trembled as he spoke. He had commanded fleets that conquered worlds, but he had never faced something like this. The humans did not attack directly, yet they held complete control. The Empire realized for the first time that humans were not weak. They had underestimated the race they had thought was extinct. Ethan Cole looked at the young officers on his bridge. Children who had been trained their entire lives for this moment stood ready. "Remember this," he said. "We do not destroy without reason. We fight because we survive. We show power because the galaxy must understand that humans endure." The Zelari fleet tried again. They fired missiles, beams, and plasma cannons. Alarms screamed. Officers shouted over the chaos. Luke Carter watched in horror as each weapon failed. The humans' shields absorbed everything. The attacks were meaningless. "Prepare for the next phase," Jack Harris said. "The Empire will now learn patience is our ally. We strike when necessary, but the message is clear. Humans survive, humans remember, humans are not to be underestimated." On one human ship, Noah Price oversaw the fleet's movements. His eyes scanned the stars, calm and calculating. "They think they are invincible. They believe they can control the galaxy. Soon they will see that we control ourselves. We survived 3,000 years. We will survive this encounter and we will be heard. The Zelari Empire's panic grew. Planets that had never known fear now heard the truth about Earth. Humans were alive. Humans were strong. Humans were patient. Fleets that once believed themselves untouchable now felt powerless. Luke Carter realized the truth. He had always believed humans were weak. He had fought them on other planets long ago when the Empire first rose. They were clever, yes, but they were fragile. He had been wrong. He had underestimated the humans' endurance, their cunning, their will. And now, 3,000 years later, the Empire faced the consequences. Ethan Cole addressed the fleet one more time. Remember Earth. Remember the destruction. Remember what was done to us. We do not seek endless war, but we will not forget. We will return when needed, stronger than before. The galaxy will know the cost of underestimating humans. The Zelari ships were trapped, helpless, and confused. The humans did not attack directly, but the Empire felt the weight of 3,000 years of survival, planning, and patience. The humans were no longer the species that could be erased. They were the species that endured, that learned, and that would return for justice when needed. Jack Harris watched the Zelari fleet carefully. Hold formation. Do not attack. Let them see our power. Let them fear not our weapons, but our presence. Ethan Cole nodded. They must see that humans are alive, that we have returned, and that the galaxy must respect our history. The Zelari fleet slowly retreated, not because humans fired, but because the Empire feared the consequences. For the first time in 3,000 years, the galaxy realized that humans were not gone. They were alive, strong, and patient. They were ghosts from Earth, now awake. The red dwarf star of Haven shone faintly, bathing the human fleet in soft light. Centuries of preparation, survival, and knowledge flowed through every officer and sailor. The galaxy would never forget this moment. Humans had returned, and the Empire had learned that legends, even destroyed ones, could come alive again. The humans did not celebrate. They remained silent, precise, and calm. They had waited 3,000 years for this moment. The time of reckoning had begun, but it was only the first step. The Empire would soon understand that humans were more than survivors. They were a force that could not be erased, a memory that could not die, and a species that would endure across the stars. The stars themselves seemed to watch as humans moved among them. Their ships, their presence, their calm authority was enough to shake the Empire. The message was clear: humans survived, humans remembered, and humans had returned to the galaxy stronger than ever. For the first time, Luke Carter understood the truth. The humans were not weak, they were not gone, and they were no longer hiding. The galaxy had forgotten the cost of underestimating them, but now the humans had reminded everyone. The silent fleet of humans glided among the stars, waiting, watching, and teaching the Empire a lesson it would never forget. 3,000 years of survival, planning, and patience had led to this moment, and the galaxy would feel the weight of human endurance for generations to come. The Zelari fleet retreated slowly, but Luke Carter knew the humans were not finished. Their ships moved with calm precision, surrounding key systems and cutting off communications. The humans were not attacking recklessly. They were teaching the Empire a lesson. They had survived, and they remembered every act of cruelty. Ethan Cole stood on the bridge of the human command vessel, his eyes scanning the stars. Centuries of planning had brought them to this moment. 3,000 years of hiding, surviving, and growing had finally led to the time when the galaxy would see humans as they truly were. "Prepare the evidence files," Ethan said. "The Empire must see what they did to Earth, and every species must know the truth. We are not just alive, we are the memory of justice." Claire Bennett worked quickly, sending encrypted transmissions to key Zelari command centers. Videos and recordings of Earth's destruction, old logs of cities burning, and testimonies from survivors were broadcast across multiple channels. For the first time, species that had only heard of humans began to realize the scale of what the Zelari had done. On Luke Carter's ship, alarms blared as images of burning cities appeared on every console. Officers gasped. They had seen these records before, but never broadcast so widely, never with the humans alive to show them the truth. Panic began to spread through the fleet. They had thought they were untouchable. They had thought humans were dead. Now they saw that they were alive, strong, and in control. Jack Harris turned to his officers. "We are not here to destroy them yet." We want them to see that our survival is their fault and that their empire is not invincible. Let them understand that justice is patient and precise. The Zelari fleet tried to regroup, but every move they made was anticipated. Humans had studied the Empire for generations, learning tactics, weaknesses, and response patterns. Every maneuver the Zelari attempted was blocked or redirected. The humans moved like shadows among the stars, silent and deadly. "Sir, they are too fast," Lieutenant Reed said, his voice tight with fear. "We cannot match them. Our weapons are useless. Our strategies fail." "They should be extinct," Luke Carter muttered. "We burned Earth 3,000 years ago. How is this possible?" Ethan Cole activated the next phase. Human ships moved closer to key Zelari worlds, surrounding planets, space stations, and fleets without firing a single shot. The Zelari could not respond. They were trapped, humiliated, and unable to fight. "Show them the Council files," Ethan said. Claire Bennett quickly transmitted the records. Detailed accounts of the Zelari Council ordering the destruction of Earth, plans to exterminate humans, and records of war crimes against other species filled the communications networks. The Empire could not deny it. The galaxy could see it all. "We underestimated them," Luke Carter admitted aloud, more to himself than anyone else. "We thought they were weak, that they could be erased, but they survived. They are smarter, stronger, better." On the human command vessel, Jack Harris spoke quietly to his officers. "This is what patience looks like. 3,000 years of waiting, and now the Empire sees what they created. Fear, respect, and remembrance. We do not destroy without reason, but we do not hesitate when needed." The Zelari Empire was in chaos. Fleets that had never lost were paralyzed. Planets that had never seen fear now trembled. Leaders across the Empire debated whether to surrender, fight, or retreat. But the humans were already in control. The Empire could no longer act freely. Every decision was constrained by the presence of humans, by the memory of Earth, and by centuries of planning. Ethan Cole moved among the bridges of several human ships via secure video links. His calm authority inspired officers and soldiers alike. "Remember," he said, "our goal is not revenge through destruction. It is proof. It is control. It is memory. We are the proof that humans survived, and we are here to make the galaxy remember what was done to us." Noah Price coordinated fleets that isolated key Zelari strongholds. Their weapons remained on standby, but their presence alone caused surrender and fear. One by one, the Empire's outposts yielded, not because they were destroyed, but because humans were patient, disciplined, and precise. Luke Carter finally admitted the truth to his officers. We cannot fight them. Their strategy, their technology, their patience, it is unmatched. We have underestimated humans for 3,000 years, and now we are paying the price." The humans moved through the Empire with methodical precision. Ships entered systems that had been controlled by the Zelari for centuries. Humans did not fire. They did not attack civilians or destroy worlds. Instead, they showed power through presence. The Empire had to listen, to watch, to face the consequences of its past actions. Ethan Cole addressed the Zelari fleet again. "We have survived 3,000 years. We have grown stronger. You thought you could erase us. You thought we were weak. The galaxy sees the truth now. You must remember what you did, and you must face justice. We do not strike without reason, but we do not forget." Jack Harris monitored the borders of the Empire. Human ships surrounded key trade routes, supply lines, and military stations. The Zelari were trapped in a network they could not escape. Their empire, once vast and untouchable, now felt fragile and weak. "They are patient," Reed said. "We cannot force them into battle. They control us without firing a shot. How is this possible?" "They are humans," Luke Carter said. "They endure, they learn, they remember. They survive." Human fleets continued their advance. They entered the capital systems of the Empire, not to destroy, but to expose. Records of Zelari war crimes, corruption, and lies were broadcast to every planet. Species that had been oppressed, conquered, or ignored by the Empire now saw proof. Humans had not forgotten, and they were showing the galaxy the Empire's true nature. Claire Bennett worked tirelessly to ensure communications reached all corners of the Empire. Messages were clear, simple, and undeniable. The Zelari could not deny their crimes. Every species could see the destruction, the lies, and the truth about Earth. The Empire had built its power on fear and deceit, but now humans had revealed all. Ethan Cole spoke to the fleet one last time for the day. Remember, we do not attack without reason. We show power through control, through truth, through patience. 3,000 years of waiting brought us here. We are the living memory of Earth, and the galaxy will remember us. The Zelari fleet was fractured. Systems surrendered. Fleets were disabled. Planets were isolated. The Empire's leaders argued and fought among themselves. For the first time, they faced a species they could not control, a species that had survived destruction and returned stronger. Luke Carter realized the truth fully. Humans were not weak, they were not gone, and they were more than soldiers or survivors. They were the living proof of patience, endurance, and intelligence. The Empire had created a species it could not defeat. Ethan Cole watched the stars, calm and unwavering. Centuries of hidden planning had succeeded. Humans had returned not as victims, not as desperate survivors, but as a force the galaxy could not ignore. The Empire would remember this day forever. Jack Harris turned to his officers. The next phase will begin tomorrow. We will continue to isolate the Empire, show the galaxy the truth, and ensure that no world forgets what humans endured. Remember, patience is our weapon, and the galaxy will learn respect. The human fleet glided silently through the stars, a shadow of power and precision. The Empire could not touch them, could not stop them, and could not ignore them. 3,000 years of survival had brought humans to this moment, and they would not be denied. Luke Carter looked at the stars and whispered, "They are more than I imagined. They are humans." Ethan Cole spoke to his officers, voice calm but firm. "Remember, we are humans. We survived destruction, we learned from it, and we returned stronger than ever. The galaxy will see the truth, and the Empire will face the consequences. Justice is patient, and we are its living proof." The Zelari fleet began to surrender, not to weapons, not to attacks, but to the power of memory, patience, and truth. Humans had returned to the galaxy, and their presence alone reshaped the Empire. The stars watched silently as the humans moved among them, steady, calm, and unstoppable. They were no longer the species that could be erased. They were the memory of Earth, alive and enduring, and the Empire had learned that legends, even destroyed ones, could return stronger than anyone could imagine. 3,000 years of waiting, planning, and surviving had brought humans to the point where they could teach the galaxy respect, fear, and remembrance. The Empire had been warned, and now the reckoning had begun. The humans had surrounded the heart of the Zelari Empire. Fleets hovered near the capital worlds, blocking all routes of escape. Communication channels carried the truth of Earth's destruction and the Empire's crimes. The galaxy watched. The Empire that had once ruled through fear now trembled before the living proof of the human's survival. Ethan Cole walked across the bridge of the command ship, his steps quiet but deliberate. Centuries of planning and survival had led to this moment. The humans were not attacking blindly. They were here to show power, to demand accountability, and to ensure no species ever forgot the cost of cruelty. Jack Harris stood at the helm of the vanguard. His eyes scanned the stars. Fleets were ready, weapons on standby, but there was no rush to fire. Humans had learned the value of patience. The Empire would feel the weight of their presence before feeling the weight of their weapons. Luke Carter's voice trembled over the communications array. "Humans, we surrender. Is that what you want? We cannot fight you." Jack replied calmly, "We do not want your destruction unless you force it. We want the Empire to face truth, to understand the crimes committed, and to remember that humans survive. The galaxy must know what you have done." Ethan activated the transmissions. Images of Earth, once vibrant and full of life, burned and shattered. Records of every Zelari attack, every war crime, and every conquered species were broadcast across the Empire. Planets that had never heard truth now saw it clearly. Children on distant worlds could see the cost of imperial pride. Adults could no longer ignore history. "This cannot be," Luke said quietly. "We thought humans were weak, gone, extinct, but they survived, stronger than anything we imagined." On Haven, Maria Stone watched the transmissions carefully. She knew the human strength lay not only in weapons, but in knowledge and endurance. Centuries of hiding, learning, and surviving had made them wise and precise. "They see now," she said softly. "The Empire sees, the galaxy sees. Humans cannot be ignored." Human ships moved deeper into the Empire's core. They did not destroy worlds. They did not harm civilians. They surrounded military stations, trade hubs, and the council chambers, ensuring that no one could interfere. Control came without bloodshed. Restraint was power, and humans wielded it with skill. "Prepare for council exposure," Ethan said. Claire Bennett and Noah Price worked quickly, ensuring that every record of the Zelari Council's crimes was uploaded to public channels. Species across the Empire could see every act of cruelty, every lie, every conspiracy that had allowed Earth to be destroyed. Luke Carter's officers were in shock. "They are not killing us, they are showing us," one whispered. "Our crimes, our lies, all of it, the galaxy sees now." Ethan addressed the Zelari leaders directly. "You destroyed Earth, you thought we were gone. You spread fear and ruled with lies. Today the galaxy learns the truth. Humans survived. Humans remember, justice is not blind. It is patient, and it has come to you." Some Zelari leaders attempted to flee. Fleets moved toward hidden routes, but human ships blocked every path. Every attempt to escape was anticipated. Humans had studied the Empire for centuries. Their precision was unmatched. "Hold positions," Jack said. "Let them see that there is nowhere to hide. The galaxy is watching, and the Empire must face its deeds." The humans then began bringing Zelari ships and leaders to the surface of the capital worlds. There were no massacres, no unnecessary violence. Each captured ship, each surrendered leader was evidence that humans had survived, humans remembered, and humans were just. Ethan Cole spoke over open channels to the entire Empire. "You will not forget Earth. You will not forget the humans you tried to erase. The galaxy will remember, and so will you. Every crime, every lie, every act of cruelty will be recorded and judged. We are not monsters. We are survivors, and we demand accountability." Luke Carter finally admitted the truth aloud to no one in particular. "They are humans more than I imagined, not just survivors, but judges, teachers, forces of nature. We underestimated them for 3,000 years." Human ships moved steadily, showing the Empire what power with patience could achieve. No ships fired a single destructive shot, yet the Empire felt complete control slipping away. Planets that had been loyal, systems that had never rebelled, and fleets that had never lost all faced the reality. Humans were alive, organized, and unstoppable when necessary. Jack Harris spoke to his officers. "Our goal is not annihilation. Our goal is remembrance, justice, and restraint. If we destroy, it will be because they leave us no choice. Otherwise, we are witnesses, not executioners." Claire Bennett monitored the transmissions. Species across the Empire sent messages of shock, relief, and anger. The humans had returned, not as conquerors, but as witnesses to truth. The Zelari Empire's lies, built over centuries, crumbled under the weight of proof and presence. Noah Price oversaw fleets moving to secure the last hidden war zones. Humans did not attack without need. They moved as guardians, not aggressors. Their authority came from patience, discipline, and survival. The Empire had underestimated patience. Now it faced the consequences. Ethan Cole addressed the fleet one final time. "Humans survived 3,000 years, we learned. We endured, we remember. Justice is not destruction alone. It is memory, accountability, and control. The Empire must face the consequences, but no life will be lost unnecessarily. The galaxy will see the humans of Earth as they truly are." Zelari leaders finally surrendered. They offered compliance, answers, and explanations. No one dared resist. The humans' calm authority, combined with centuries of preparation, ensured that the Empire could not act freely. Every decision was influenced, every action watched, and every misstep punished through observation rather than fire. Luke Carter watched helplessly as the Empire he had known fell into order under human control. He had fought wars, commanded fleets, and conquered planets. Yet he realized he could not fight humans who survived destruction, who remembered their history, and who returned stronger than any empire could anticipate. Ethan Cole spoke to the captured Zelari leaders directly. "Your crimes will not be ignored. Earth was destroyed and billions died. The galaxy will know. Your species may continue, but only if you remember what you did and change your ways. Humans survived, humans returned, and humans remember." Jack Harris moved his fleet to secure the last capital stations. Ships glided silently, precise and calm. The humans were everywhere, yet nowhere aggressive. They controlled the Empire through authority, truth, and the memory of their past. Claire Bennett transmitted the last records. Every species under Zelari rule now had proof of crimes, manipulation, and lies. Justice was not blind, and it did not require destruction. It required survival, endurance, and the patience to return when needed. Humans embodied all three. Luke Carter admitted to his officers, "I thought we destroyed them. I thought humans were weak. I was wrong. They endured, they learned, and they are stronger than anything we imagined. The galaxy will never forget them." Ethan Cole addressed his fleet one last time. "Remember, we are humans. We survived destruction. We remember Earth. We endure. The galaxy will respect us, fear us when necessary, and never forget the cost of underestimating humans. The Empire has learned this, and so will the stars." The human fleet glided through the Empire silently, a shadow of power, precision, and justice. No planets were destroyed unnecessarily. No civilians were harmed, yet the Empire felt complete control slipping from their hands. Centuries of lies, fear, and power had fallen to a species the Empire had believed extinct. Jack Harris spoke quietly. 3,000 years of waiting, and the galaxy sees the truth. Humans are alive, humans survived, and humans cannot be erased. Today, the Empire learned patience, endurance, and strength. Ethan Cole looked at the stars, calm and commanding. Earth was lost, but humans endured. We return not as monsters, not as conquerors, but as witnesses, guardians, and reminders. The galaxy will remember this day. The Empire will remember it, and humans will continue, stronger than ever. The Zelari fleet had surrendered fully. The Empire had faced its reckoning. The galaxy watched as humans moved among the stars, careful, precise, and unstoppable. The cost of underestimating humans had been revealed. 3,000 years after Earth's destruction, humans returned. Not as victims, not as weak survivors, but as a species that endured, remembered, and commanded respect. The Empire had learned, the galaxy had witnessed, and humans had reclaimed their place among the stars. As the human fleet prepared to leave the Empire, the message was clear. Humans survived, humans remembered, and humans were no longer to be ignored. Earth may have been destroyed, but its people endured. Its memory lived, and the galaxy would never forget again. 3,000 years after Earth's destruction, humans returned for revenge.